Hey guys, my name is Morgan. I'm the newest employee at the rag company. I consider myself an enthusiast and I love taking care of my car. Since I started working here, I learned that Levi and Anthony are really good detailers and I want to be just like them. In this series, we're going to go simple step by step to take us from washing our cars in our driveway all the way up to professional level auto detailing. So if you want to learn how to take Levi and Anthony's jobs out from under them, let's get started. Hey guys, so I just finished up with Anthony and he was teaching me how to do a rinseless wash on this hood. And even though we just washed it, it still looks like there's a lot of stuff left on it. So do you want to kind of explain to me what all this stuff is?
Yes, so first off, I don't normally wear my hat like this. Dane's making me do this so that you guys can come along on a little bird's eye view of what we're gonna be looking at. We did just wash this hood and there is still a ton of stuff on here. And right off the bat, I can see that this hood has been resprayed.
Well, how do you know that?
So a couple little things. First things first, I noticed that when you're standing right here and you look down this side of the hood, on this panel here, you can see some lines that are running across here, but it's usually right about in this section. And these lines are moving in this direction.
Okay,
and
I
so
see
you can kind of see the little scrapes or scratches in there. And what that is, those are sanding marks.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I'm noticing is that there was old sanding marks. And then the other thing is these drips right here. On the front of the fender, or the front of the hood here, there's all these little drips of excess paint. I mean, somebody was probably a little too heavy with the gun when they were spraying and the paint has pooled down on the end there.
Okay.
So those are two things. So right off the bat, we know that this is not a factory finish, even though it is a Hyundai. It is not a factory finish, this is a respray.
Okay.
So that kind of changes what we're gonna be working with, because now instead of using like something like a factory clear to work with, the clear coat, it's an aftermarket clear coat in the sense that it could be from a number of different manufacturers. And we don't know if it's hard now, we don't know if it's soft, just because of the way the clear is gonna react. So we'll figure that out later when we're actually going to polishing.
Okay.
But right now we've got all these extra defects. And I don't know if you can see any of the ones that I'm seeing, just that are pretty common.
Yeah.
Probably the most common thing is a bird dropping. So if you can find some of those, point them out.
Yeah, that definitely looks like one. These right here look like a couple, and probably those.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason that you can tell everybody's seen a bird dropping on their car. This, because it's been sitting in the junkyard, it probably didn't have these before it made it to the junkyard. And it probably has just been sitting for, who knows, maybe a season or two. You've got a lot of temperature changes, and just sitting in the sun directly has caused these bird droppings to burn their way into the clear coat. So if you think of like an acid burning onto something where it starts to bubble and sizzle, it's basically kind of what a bird dropping is doing. It's very acidic towards clear coat. Okay. So we've got some burns or etchings, as we call them. So like I said, we've got bird droppings right here, here. There's a big one right there, and like you said, a big one there, and there, and a couple more around here. Okay. So bird droppings, those are normal, and the key to bird droppings to prevent this is to make sure you remove bird droppings as quick as possible from the surface. Okay. That's the biggest thing. Second, we've got staining. So staining can be two different kind of things, similar to like a stain on your jacket, on your pants, on your shirt. It's a discoloration in the surface of the car. So it could be stained by a marker. I mean, we put it on there, we write it on it, try and wipe it off, and there's a darker section. That's a stain. But we have is almost water staining. Not water spots, but water staining. And so we've got these large, if I could trace over one of these so we can see it, but we've got these little blobs. They look like little amoebas all over the surface here. And so these stains, as they go across, are basically rainwater, dirt, dust, road grime, bird droppings, everything that has been sitting on this hood for long periods of time. And again, heat cycles. So we've had cold winters, hot summers. That stuff sitting on it changes the temperature of the clear coat, making it more susceptible to all these certain types of defects. So we got to remove that. We got to remove bird droppings. We got to remove the paint stains. We're going to try and fix some of these sanding marks. I don't think we can, but we'll try. The last thing, you know what those are?
Scratches.
Yeah, so scratches are pretty common. Like we said, they're, you know, you've got them all across here, across there. You've got some other ones that are right over here. We've got some different ones here, but they're all varying levels of thickness. So basically, paint looks like this. We have our first layer, and that's our primer. And that allows the paint to stick to the metal. So you've got the metal of the hood itself, a primer coat put on top, and then we have what's called a color coat. So that's this red that we have on here. And then finally, you have your clear coat. And the clear is clear. That's what gives us our shine, that's what gives us our reflection, all that stuff. And when we go to polish a car, we are trying to make this clear as smooth as possible. Clear isn't always smooth. So like when you hear the term orange peel makes the clear coat look like the surface of an orange.
I can see that.
Texture in it. So orange peel is sprayed at the factory, mostly so that it gives the car somewhat of a uniform look, because laying paint flat, as it's called, meaning totally straight across, like it's laying perfectly level, is very difficult to do. And more and more manufacturers are adding a certain level of orange peel to their paint, their factory paint. So when we wet sand, we will be smoothing a lot of that out and making it more flat. So normally, if we zoom in on this little section, what we have actually looks like this.
Okay.
And that's our clear coat. So that's clear, and that's color. And in some senses, where we've got these paint scratches, our color coat actually looks like this. So now the color has scratches in it under the clear. So now we can't get to these scratches, we can't make those any better without burning and going into the clear coat. But here, we can smooth these out. So maybe this is a piece of sap, which is, there's some right here, there's some things stuck in the paint. So this little peak here is a piece of tree sap. This piece right here could be a hard edge right in here where our fingernails are catching. So what we're gonna do when we polish is our goal is to just take this and we're just gonna smooth the ends down as best as we can. So we'll still have the scratches, the gouges will be in there, but our eye won't be able to see it because we'll have our, bear with me, this is a crude drawing of an eyeball, but the eye is going to be looking at the scratch, but the way that the light is going to be hitting this scratch, it's not going to perceive it. So it'll look like it disappeared. It's still there, and it's still in the surface, but we may make it so that we can't see it anymore. Or the normal viewpoint, maybe if our eyeball is looking at it straight down, it's totally different. If we're looking at it from looking up, we might be able to see it, or vice versa, looking the other way. So our goal is to try and make that as simple, flat as possible, and then our goal is to refine and make it more focused. So just like a picture that's out of focus and blurry, that's what the reflection is into this paint. Our job is to make it more mirror-like. So we're gonna take that and sharpen it. So those are kind of the things we're gonna do, but first we gotta decontaminate this hood, and that's gonna be the next step. So do you have any more questions?
Well, I'm kind of just wondering why we didn't use the light.
That is a very good question. The lighting in here and in our spacious white room here is so good, I'm able to see everything. I hope you guys can see too, but if you need to, grab a light, hold it at a 45-degree angle from your body, and then what we're looking at is actually trying to see the reflection of the light itself into the surface. And that is what we're gonna be working on. So our goal, like we said, when something's blurry and then we're gonna be focusing it, during our polishing process and stuff like that, we're gonna be checking for defects and seeing how much we actually get out by judging the quality of the light and the reflection source back to us. So that'll be our main reference point. But like I said, if we're looking for like stains and stuff, we can see the bird droppings in the paint here in the room without the light. We can see the scratches in the surface without the light, you know. There's a lot of things that we're able to see because the lighting is so good. But if you're in a dark garage, or maybe you're picking up a car and you're looking to buy something off of Craigslist or one of those ads, it's good to have a light, walk around the car and just check for some heavier stuff. When we call back to one of the series we did with Dane on his Volvo, I walked the car with a light to kind of see, and I could see tons of car wash scratches, lots of different light scratching and marring and things like that we need to take care of. But we're fortunate. We're in a big light room, lots of diffused light. We can see everything. So that's it.
Well, that cleared up a lot, so thanks for going over all that stuff with me. So in the next one, we'll, I guess, be doing some decontamination of all of that?
That is correct.
Cool. All right, well, if you like this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and stay tuned for more videos here at The Rag Company.